Oh, okay, right then. I don't know how I'm going to lay this out. It's basically my third time just recording because I just end up waffling too much. I don't know how to keep it down, so I might need Connor to recover it. Still not completely fixed up with the illness, but oh well, it's just a cold. I don't know how to really get this across, so I'm just going to waffle about Breezis and kind of hope it educates some people. I don't know why my tutorial will be different. If anything, it'll be worse than others. I mean, I didn't learn it from any tutorials, and I probably should have watched some, but oh well, I'm just going to hop straight in. So, when it comes to Breezis, what you want to do is make sure that you have a directional air roll bound, meaning left or right, not just your ordinary air roll, which I use the most. Make sure you bound it to a button, because otherwise, you're not going to be able to pull the move off. I don't use air roll right. For my air roll left, I use literally just for Breezis. And the occasional stall error there, but I can't incorporate it into anything because, you know, I haven't put time and effort into stalling because I'm not a fan of it. When you have those bound, you want to make sure that you get some form down. If I press my air roll down, my air roll left, I'll need to push right. Let's say if you have air roll right bound, push to the left to get a tornado spin. Because when you get this kind of movement, it then allows you to stop without using anything else. You can simply just push right and let go at a certain time, and you end up getting into a movement. Sort of how it should look. If I just do it on the spot, what kind of movement you should be going for. When you can get this down consistently, is so much better. Make sure you don't tap A too lightly as well, or tap jump to it too lightly. Hold, release, turn, pull back. And it's just a nice little sequence. And when you can mimic it and land straight, then you're basically sorted for control. And consistently as well. Make sure you can do it consistently. There's not much I can really do. You're not going to learn it overnight. A lot of moves in Rocket League are very simple. Just think about it as button layouts. If you start looking at your car, it becomes an issue. However, to start off with, just think about it as button layouts, where you just look at your controller, hold, turn, pull back. And it's a sequence of movements that you want to just keep in mind. Instead of thinking of it as one whole thing as a Breezy, where I've got to like rush in, do this, do that. But you have a lot of time where you have your flip. And it's just, I wouldn't rush it. If you end up rushing it, it becomes an issue. But make sure that you just take your time, but also put in the time, because otherwise you're not going to get anywhere if you don't put in the time. A delay doesn't get rid of your speed or doesn't give you extra speed. It doesn't do anything like that. It only helps you line your car back up. It basically just creates a smaller musty. That's it. The quicker you do it, the quicker your car's going to spring back as well, which is definitely going to help you in the long run. Very difficult to get some nice speed off of a bad delay, basically. Connor, I'm going to need you to save me here. When it comes to the setup, there are a few different types of setting the ball up. Because if you want to go for a fast musty, you want to stay low. You want to stay as low as possible to make sure that you actually get some nice power. If you hold if you hold jump, you jump higher. If you tap A, you jump lower. And you can use this to your advantage, because the lower you are, the more space you have to go for a high Breezy, because otherwise you end up hitting bar. This is when you really get your timing down, which apparently I haven't. I'll give you 4 different setups. There's the low setup, but with a high jump. Hold A long, but you gain speed to start off with. What you'll get from this is a nice controlled Breezy, but it has a little bit of speed to it as well. However, it takes up a lot of space, so if you don't have that space, there's no point in going for it. However, if you tap A instead of holding it, you'll go really low. And what you'll get from that low attempt is a nice, fast and low setup, basically. Setting out from Bakkesmod helps so much, but if you don't have Bakkesmod, if let's say you're on console or something, there's not much you can do in the sense of speeding up apart from just going off the ball. So it would be better if you just sort of threw it at a wall or something to get a little bit of speed to start off with, sort of getting the feel for the ball. There's then the third option, which is not having much speed but tapping it to go for a high flick. Now this will set you up really low underneath the ball, and what you can do from that is then either follow the ball or just chip it over someone. You don't need much delay practice from this one, because you can do it without. It's always better to know how to delay, because if you know how to delay, then you're going to know how to normally just release. Right then, Future Isaac here. I noticed that I didn't quite go over how I sort of properly make sure that I get my power on my Breezis, because to be honest, I know a lot of you wanted this tutorial type thing purely just to know how I get my power. But what I do is, so essentially I make sure that I pull back my stick as quick as possible. I start the delay as quick as possible. So when I can, fully cancel that as quick as I physically can, okay, I want to make sure that you create sparks when you delay, because you need to start it quick. Then I can make sure that I just release just before I hit the ball, and then just as I get connection on the ball, I can then release and just get my power. Because if I'm feeling particularly sort of dead one day, I'm simply going to chalk it up to me just not breezying quick enough, not delaying quick enough, sorry. When I can do my delay, it just means I can get my power. Not every time will set you up perfectly, so just bear that in mind. That's why you get some control down. But at the moment, not really getting the most powerful Breezis. However, I'm still getting them strong enough to where it's like a little bit of a wow factor. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. So, Future Isaac signing out. But then, if you don't know how to delay, you're not going to know how to delay. There's only benefits to learning. It's always better to learn earlier as well. When you have those down, you can also then start incorporating not a normal Breezy, but a slow momentum Breezy. My RT's a bit broken, so it sort of screws up my timing. It's basically when you hold A, or hold jump, and then go for your Breezy, because it will then set you up nicely for a high one. But it's very awkward and kind of inconsistent. However, when you get it down, you can basically just control ball, and you can also get speed off of it, but it's very awkward. Sort of catch them off guard. I've sort of just thrown information at you, and it's not very well planned out. I'm sorry if it's a bit crap, but when it comes to just the movement, I can say a few do's and don'ts, pretty crucial to be honest. For instance, when you go for a Breezy, just make sure you're level. Just make sure that you're at this kind of level. If you're at some sort of awkward angle, you can lose a lot of speed, and it's very difficult to make sure that you've got some decent speed. Also, your ass gets in the way more when you're at sort of this 45-degree angle. But when you're 180 straight upside down, you have so much more space to do literally anything. As you can see, it's so much easier to get power. That's after delays, obviously. I don't know whether... Bang, there you go, I didn't even delay. And also, one thing, if you get good at Breezis, I would highly suggest learning how to Breezy corner. Not even learning, just going for Breezy corners and sidewalls. The reason why is because it will just help with your consistency, because it works on multiple mechanics then, like your wall reads, your positioning, following the ball after. It's just so much more beneficial instead of just breezing it out of net and trying to go as fast as you can. You learn to delay just so you can follow the ball. Well, mainly so you can follow the ball, and I can just carry on going for them, just back and forth. Do it in the sequence that I'm doing it. If you have Bakkesmod, see my controller layout to how I, line up the ball. I'd pay attention to that, because it's definitely something that will help you just get the ball in front of your car. Basically, it's just another Breezy tutorial, basically, but way more scuff, not planned out. Also, all that I can say is thank you for what the fuck has been going on. I don't know. I don't know how to appreciate all the love at all. Everything's popping, and I don't know how to comprehend it. So I appreciate everyone who's either subbing, coming back, or just looking. Even just watching the videos every now and again, I just appreciate it. And even if you're new, okay, I've got no words. Just thanks. That's all I can say. Cheers. I appreciate the amount of love that I'm getting, and I can't really express it. So yeah. I'll make sure to respond to everyone that either comments or even messages me. If you DM me, I'm going to respond at some point. I'm sorry if I don't see it, but it's probably because I got some other notification that took me away. I'll try and get to everyone the best I can. So I appreciate you watching, and if you made it here, then bloody congrats. Why are you still here? Because I've just waffled, and that's it. I've probably missed out 1,001 things that I've wanted to say, but it is what it is. I can't lay everything out, and if I end up structuring it, it'll just sound way too formal. It'll be all scuffed in a completely different way, because I'm not much of a person for planning. So I hope you guys enjoy, and Connor, I'm sorry.